In smoke jumping and firefighting in general, the larger picture, you're trained for a multitude of events that that you are pretty sure will occur, and other events that you hope don't occur, including deaths. But being in a position to manage those situations when they come about. And I didn't realize it at the time that I was going through the training, in smoke jumping. And I remember just working with, my first, summer or two. I would watch a senior, jumper, for example, my first fire jump. Geez, that was, the fire was, real easy when it was a two-man fire way up in the Pasayten Wilderness area of northern, Cascades of Washington. And my partner was Doug Bernhardt. He was a seasoned jumper. He'd been around for at least four, maybe 5 years, and it was just understood, that he was going to be the boss of the program, of that fire, and what to do. And it was a tough jump. We landed in some old burned off area, had stumps and logs down in it, and snags. But everything that I was taught, in jumping, was to, you make decisions while you're coming down through the air, for example. And the last 200 feet, are the critical ones. But you got protective equipment, and you land fine. I am gonna get a little bit off the point here with the question about leadership, but my partner, he taught me really what I needed to know there about but also about putting fires out or making sure they're out. It was my only fourth fire I ever been on in my life, and he taught me the importance of building a fire line. I remember him building it like, seemed like a foot deep, and why are you doing this, Doug? I didn't even ask him, I was embarrassed to ask him, but I just went along, and I well understood, why you do that. And then the pack out, that was, geez, crime, it was cross country it wasn't a long distance, maybe 4 or 5 miles, but we packed out cross country, through blowdown most of the area, no trails, to a wilderness airstrip called the Pasayten Airstrip, where they picked us up and flew us back out. But that was, again, I got kind of off on a tangent here, but the little things like that, taught us about leadership. And it's kind of like a cowboy, a cowboy on a ranch. Well, some cowboys pick up on being the boss or the foreman, or straw boss, and others don't. And it somehow or another, smoke jumpers tend to, if folks that want to, become leaders, you can pick up on that and the skills that they need to have to become leaders. And of my 32 years in the Forest Service and Department of Agriculture, I think 27 or 28 of those years was as a supervisor or manager. And again, I go back to my my smoke jumping time. I get a little bit emotional. But it was so valuable. It was so great. And I taught lots of leadership and supervisory courses too. Throughout my career, one of the major ones I taught was a 40-hour course called it was called Kepner-Trago Problem-Solving Decision Making, and it was that was I probably it was it was hard to it was a two-week intensive training to be an instructor, and it was tough, but I never would have been able to take it on if I hadn't had the background experience I had that says, hey, smoke jumper, you can do it, and you capitalize on the training that you get, and move on. It's a certain extent. It's it's kind of an ingrained into your being to do that. And I've seen other supervisors in my career where we've trained to be supervisors, but they failed. And it's managers need to be tuned into being able to select individuals who are not only, first of all, they got to have that inane nature to be a leader, and then train them and provide additional leadership skills. But if they don't, if they fail and managers fail in selecting the right individuals, to be future supervisors and potential managers, then they're going to those individuals are going to supervisor and fail as a supervisor, and is really the managers are a failure in failing to select the wrong people for training as well as positions.